Hey, what is up, everybody? It is Uncle Matt back from Florida. Just flew in this morning, literally at like 8 o'clock this morning. Been up since 4 a.m. So running on fumes a little bit here, but we are here to preview not only WWE SummerSlam, but the huge of wrestling action going on all across Nashville all weekend long. Starting tonight, they've got the Roast Flair going on at the fairgrounds right now. Black Label show there right now. GCW's got a show coming up at 10:30 tonight. I've got tickets for that. May or be going based on how I feel when I get off the stream. Says what's up, Preston? Yeah, a lot of wrestling going on this weekend. Then of course we got SummerSlam tomorrow. Starcast going on throughout the grounds today. More Starcast stuff and Ric Flair's last match coming up Sunday night at the Nashville Municipal Auditorium. Shane, what's up, Shane? So let's start with SummerSlam. I mean, it's the big show of the weekend. It's the thing that everything else is kind of following up for. The thing that everybody's interested in seeing this weekend is SummerSlam. It's the reason shows and events are going on. It's definitely an interesting one because there's a lot of interesting things happening in WWE in general right now. Obviously, we are a week removed from the shocking retirement / resignation of Vince McMahon fully stepping down from power, supposedly. In the weeks, found out that Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan will be the CEOs moving forward. Triple H will be the head of creative. Paul Levesque. Bruce Prichard will be working directly under him. So kind of people thought we were going to get when Vince stepped down, but then it seemed unlikely. More recently, where Triple H had kind of fallen out of favor and had his health issues, but everything happened fast, and I think it was kind of the main option for what they could do going forward to keep sort of some sense of consistency, some sense of throwing everything out. Had been inside, had been familiar with what was going on. So I think that's a lot of people are probably interested in seeing SummerSlam. That's what I'm most interested in seeing about SummerSlam is, do we start to see changes here? Do we start to see what Triple H's vision for SummerSlam is, what Stephanie's vision for the company is? I don't anticipate as many changes as some people do. I think a lot of people think we're going to see maybe some of the stuff Triple NXT a few years ago started coming to the master. I don't think that's the case because I think he was trying to do something different. I think his vision wrestling is not that far off from Vince McMahon's. It maybe is not as much as some of the goofy stuff. There might be some more consistency in the storytelling, but the type of guys they're going to push, the type of guys they're going to want to look on top is going to be very similar. Did promos I don't think are going away because that was largely a Stephanie McMahon innovation when she was part of the creative herself. So as CEO now, I don't see her wanting that to be a change thing. I think that's just part of the formula for WWE now. Are the scripts going to be as silly and goofy? Will they give the wrestlers a little more leeway to vary from the script? That might have been, but I'm more interested to see, are we going to get something we're not expecting SummerSlam? I would think, if I was Triple H, my first big event, my first big show in charge, I would want to do something to catch people off guard. I'd want to do something to surprise people. So what's that going to be? I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities. The Seth Rollins Riddle match taken off the show earlier this week because Riddle is in storyline injured. Apparently, they may be holding that off till Clash at the Castle, but there's been some teases that maybe there could be a Seth versus opponent match tomorrow at SummerSlam. I don't know who that would be. I don't know who that would be like a huge, exciting surprise. Some names have been thrown out there. Some people have said Cody, but there's no possible way that's happening from injury. Some people have said Cena, but I can't see Cena being available. He's shooting 2 right now. For all I can, I mean, who's to say he couldn't just fly in for one day, do a match, and leave? But I don't think his TV show would be too keen on the idea of him possibly coming out and getting hurt and schedule. So I don't see him either. But there seem to be some teases online between Rollins and Triple H that Seth Rollins, it's not fair to him that he pulled off the show or whatever. So we'll see what happens there. Is there a surprise opponent for him? I don't know. The other big question in terms of maybe doing something big, maybe having a surprise. The whole situation with Theory. He's got the Money in the Bank briefcase. They've heavily involved him in the main event picture, teasing that he might cash in on Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar when the match is over. I kind of think they've almost just used him as a surrogate to keep the TV interest going, because Brock Lesnar is not on every TV, Reigns is not on every TV. They've rarely been on TV together. So when one's been there and there hasn't, they've kind of needed somebody to fill the gap. So I think they're using Theory in that way as kind of the fill-in for the angles and stuff like that. I think they will use capacity in the main event. Does he cash in and fail? I think he's going to cash in, but never end up cashing in. I can't see them having him cash in and fail, because they are pushing him pretty hard. They're trying to set up as the next one of their next stars. So to kind of have him flop like that probably wouldn't be the best thing for him. Just in a wins it all, he would almost have to immediately drop it, because I don't see them putting him in the main event. The next show, the big stadium show, they've got Cardiff, England next month. Cardiff, Wales next month. So I don't think it would be good for him to win the title and then drop it quickly. I mean, that's what we saw build up to WrestleMania last year, so they could get the belt onto Bobby Lashley for the McIntyre-Lashley match. Wanted to do it Mania, but I don't see that happening here. He'll show up, he'll do something, but I don't see him actually cashing in on the show. I feel like he's going to hold that off later. We did see tonight on SmackDown that Drew McIntyre defeated Sheamus, my guy, number one guy in all professional wrestling, to earn the title shot at the Clash at the Castle event next month in Wales. I got it right that time. Despite that match was on SmackDown tonight, that seems like a match pretty good to be on SummerSlam, but they've been doing a lot of stuff, shifting matches around, maybe not prioritizing putting matches on pay-per-view as much anymore, because now those event specials, they kind of don't have to, because they get paid a flat rate by Peacock to be on the Peacock streaming service no matter what the pay-per-views do. They're no longer, adherent to pay-per-view buys. They get a flat rate that they're already getting no matter what the show does on Peacock. Ticket sales, maybe this week, a match with the Riddle thing, with the entire thing, maybe they saw where the ticket sales were. They saw, sold what we want to sell. They can do that's going to change the level of ticket sales we got, that we don't have to put an extra match on. We can pull a match off. I don't know. Drew McIntyre, makes sense that he's going to be the main event of the next show, but I certainly think it would make sense for him to be on the card for SummerSlam. He was one of the people they initially used a lot in kind of the for this. He went out to a Titans practice. They had him in full Titans gear promoting this. Sheamus actually lived here in Nashville, so very bizarre for him to not have any announced involved in the show. He's been the guy that's been in the local media doing a lot of promo work for it, and he's not even going to be on the show as of right now, so a little bit weird there, but I don't know. It's going to be an interesting show nonetheless. Let's go through the card. Let's see. I'll give you my thoughts on that. All right, we got Logan Paul versus The Miz. Big celebrity match for a big show. They desperately are trying to make Logan Paul a face. I think he probably, has to do a lot to do with that. I think he didn't want to come in and be a bad guy. I think he wanted to come in and be a cool rep guy. That's probably why he wanted to do it. He wanted to come in to be a bad guy, but generally the wrestling audience does not like Paul. He's getting booed over The Miz. The Miz, they put he's the ultimate person, but they're actually cheering The Miz over Logan Paul. I think Logan Paul wins this match. I don't know if they do something to try to help to get the crowd behind him, like a babyface that the crowd really likes comes out and helps him beat The Miz or something like that. I don't know, but I don't see him coming in to do this match to lose after The Miz got the one up on him at Mania. So I'm going to say Logan Paul wins that. It's going to be a really bizarre one. Two people that the fans mostly hate. Would be crazy if Heyman turned on Roman. And yeah, Heyman's turned on everybody. He turned on Lesnar. Looked for a second, turned on Roman 1 point ago. Would make a lot of sense. It would help Theory out to get him like Heyman, to kind of give him the kind of blessing of this is one of the guys, anybody that's a Paul Heyman guy usually is kind of thought of and highlighted. So yeah, that was sense. If you're going to do something like that, if you're going to put the belt on Theory, you almost do need to do something like have Paul Heyman help him and have him become a Paul Heyman guy to kind of give him a push, a feet. So good suggestion on that one, Shane. one, we got Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This is a weird one. It almost feels like Liv Morgan where Edge was when he cashed in the very first ever Money in the Bank, where they had him win. They had to have that moment for him, but ultimately John Cena was the guy. He was the person that won the championship on. So 1 month for the cash in, they put the belt right back on John Cena, but Edge got over in that and won him a made man for life, and eventually he got some more shine, some more time top. It certainly feels like Rousey versus Charlotte or another Rousey Becky match is kind of the cards for WrestleMania, but we had enough time till WrestleMania where you could find a way for Liv Morgan to win this match and push stuff off and come back till later for that. Hey, Patrick. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Even you could have return and cost Rousey the match to kind of set up their. We know Charlotte is going to be in town. Ric Flair said she attendance for his last match Sunday night. So we know Charlotte's going to be in town. It's entirely on for a little while. Would make for her to do a run in. Maybe she costs the match, and that sets up a short program with her before she goes to Rousey. Maybe she costs Rousey the match, so Liv gets the Charlotte thing down the line. I'd definitely not be surprised at all to see Charlotte show back up and have some kind of involvement in the finish there, but I would probably like to see win the match. Yes, Patrick, the show is at Nissan Stadium. I'm stunned you don't know this. This was announced months ago. It's been going on for a while. Next match. This is the ever. It's Bobby Lashley versus the rematch for the United States champion. Bobby Lashley beat Theory 4 at Money in the Bank. There's been a little build to this match because Theory's been involved with a ton of other people. He's been running around involving himself in the main event picture, threatening to cash in. He's got a weird nowhere kind of feud going on with Dolph and also sort of AJ Styles is kind of involved. He's basically been feuding with everybody but Bobby Lashley, but he's got a rematch with Bobby Lashley for the U.S. title. Let's see how Bobby Lashley doesn't win this match unless Ziggler turn Lashley and turn out to be a heel or something like that. I don't know. There's been very little build. Something they announced early on, and then maybe they came up with other ideas, but they didn't have anything else for those two to do on the show. But I don't know. Been a very weird build. I have no idea what's actually going to happen, except it wouldn't make Lashley lose right here. But I don't know. Some things don't make sense on WWE sometimes. Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin. Pat McAfee, another celebrity match, another guy who's always looked good when he's got the chance to wrestle. Happy Corbin, whatever. I'm sure they'll have a fine match. It'll be entertaining. I think McAfee wins this one coming off of Mania, where he lost a match against Vince McMahon. It's weird in these matches because you expect the celebrity's not going to want to kind of do something to make them look bad, but at the same time, you don't really want your wrestlers losing to non-wrestlers because that kind of hurts their push. But I mean, Corbin's kind of one of those guys range where he's probably not going to be pushed in the main event picture, so you kind of can do what you want with him, so he can lose the match for sure. Or maybe not, but I don't know. I would kind of expect Pat McAfee to win that one, but I don't know. It's weird. You got the Mysterios, Dominic and Rey, Judgment Day, and Balor and Damian Priest. This is going to be interesting. There's been a lot of cryptic teaser videos that have been running kind of along Judgment Day segments recently. Pretty much everybody thinks the segments are promoting the return of Edge, who got kicked out of Judgment Day. So I could see this being where he makes a return as a part of this match, but would that return be to get his revenge on Judgment Day or reveal it was all swerve and he turns on the Mysterios and takes them? I don't know. It feels like they've lost every match in this feud, so they almost have to win this one to get anything out of it, because it kind of feels like you're just everything. I think Rey Mysterio has lost singles matches to every single one of the Judgment Day, maybe even Rhea Ripley. I don't know about that, but it feels like the Mysterios are due to get a win here, but who knows? Edge coming back kind of clouds the waters on that one, but I would probably guess the Mysterios win, but I don't know. Tag team title match. This one's I'm excited for. My fellow alumni, me and Jeff Jarrett, we share an alma mater. He's the main attraction on SummerSlam as the special referee for the unified tag team title match. Usos against Street Profits. Similarly to the kind of feud with Judgment Day Mysterios, the Usos have had the better of the Street Profits. The last match at Money in the Bank, they almost teased like this is the Street Profits' last chance to win. But there was a little bit of a controversy to the finish, so they kind of look like they've got more shots. Probably it for them. Jeff Jarrett got accidentally sick by the Usos tonight, so they lead you to believe he might be leaning on screwing them, but sometimes they kind of swerve you on the special referees on one side's team, and it goes with the other team. Seems like the Usos are kind of going along with things. They want to keep them strong and on top as long as he's on top because they're like a unit group, the bloodline, having all the power, having all the titles. It feels like the Street Profits need to win this just because everything's been pushed on them, not being able to do Usos, not being able to beat the Usos, not being able to beat the Usos. So if they lose in the climactic match and still can't beat them for them, and there's been a lot of hints that maybe Montez Ford is going to go single, so maybe that happens. Maybe the Street Profits lose and they split up. Suck because they're a great tag team, but I think they need to win the match. But I kind of feel like they're going to keep the belts on the Uso while they're building them up kind of as a tag team version of what Roman's doing. They're keeping the whole strong together. So I think the Street Profits probably should win, but I'm going to pick the Usos. So, and then I think if that happens, we're leading to a street breakup, which sucks, but whatever. Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. This match has basically been last year's SummerSlam when Becky Lynch made her surprise return, won the title from Bianca Belair. They went on to wrestle again at WrestleMania. Bianca Belair got a revenge, won the belt. All this happened to Becky Lynch, who was the biggest, most popular babyface female of all time in WWE. Came back and turned heel. These are the stupid things in WWE that make them not fun to watch sometimes. But maybe we got a new guy leading the ship. Maybe the stupidity of someone like Lynch being a heel comes to an end. I don't know, but Bianca Belair has been very hot. You know, they've kept the title on her. They've pushed her really strong as one of the top women. They've got her kind of elevated up level, like Charlotte, Becky, Ronda Rousey have been. I don't know that they want to take steam out of her, but at the same time, it's made herself at this time to where you can't have her lose, and it's not going to kill her, and it can build to a rematch down the line. I kind of think Becky wins because they've been kind of doing the storyline with her that she can't catch a break. She hasn't been able. She's been screwed or failed over and over again to be able to get a rematch with Bianca. So she's finally got a match. So kind of feels like this is her title back. And then you can go with him again at Mania. You can switch some things around and can go after the SmackDown belt or whatever. I'm predicting a Becky Lynch win here. The main event, last man standing match for the undisputed title for about the 500th time in the last 5 years. We get Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Last man standing because that kind of gives you a heads up. Going to be your typical Lesnar match where he hits a couple suplexes. Then you get a couple of fast finishers back and forth with kick out. The other guy will probably be moving around some, doing a bunch of different squeezes, a lot of long 8-9 counts. Somebody gets back to their feet. Should be a longer match, possibly a more action-filled match than what we've seen from some of the Brock Lesnar matches over the last year or two, where it's been very formulaic, suplex, finisher exchange. When he wins, but I think this one will go longer. It'll be a lot more teases the finish. Is what could happen in this match? Does Heyman turn on somebody as Shane said earlier? Do the Usos get involved? Probably. Surprise return from somebody we're not even thinking about that might come in and involve them themselves. Is this where Seth Rollins steps in? If he doesn't get a match against a surprise opponent, does he run out in the main event to remind everybody that he's Seth freaking Rollins and he's to be on the show? Maybe Theory to cash in and Rollins attacks everybody. I don't know. Don't see Reigns losing the title here because I think if he's going to lose the title, it makes a lot more sense to lose it to Drew McIntyre next month. So basically, it's not in Scotland, but it's Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre in Europe against heel dominant champion Roman Reigns. He's going to be the babyface like in forever to try to take down Roman Reigns next month. That's where it makes more sense for Roman Reigns to lose the title, if it even makes sense to lose it there, because the rumored match for a while for next year's WrestleMania has been Roman versus The Rock. If they can Rock, that's sort of the big question mark. Will The Rock come do it? But you don't necessarily have the world title on Roman Reigns for that match. It's almost better to not have the world title in that. It's a big enough match on its own. So they could take the belt off Roman here, get it on to McIntyre, who's regularly on TV, which Roman is not. Have your champ on TV back on the road for house shows, and then let Roman when the time comes. I think Roman probably retains here. They've done so much to finally prove that he's better than Brock Lesnar in this long-running 15-year feud they have. Wouldn't make much sense for Brock Lesnar to come back and get a win here. I said earlier, I don't think Theory ends up cashing in. I don't think Theory ends up getting the title. Shane's suggestion was kind of a good one, but I do think Reigns wins here to go set up the big match, one match they haven't done, if I'm not mistaken. In Reigns, the guys he hasn't faced is Drew McIntyre, so that makes sense to save the title on Roman, have him do that one more match with the one more big guy he hasn't faced yet, let Drew get the big win to finally conquer Roman, set him up as your big forward. So that's my final thoughts on SummerSlam. It should be a good show. It'll be entertaining. I'm looking for tomorrow. Also going to go to StarCast and a few other with what's going on in wrestling weekends. So should be a jam-packed. And then Sunday, maybe the biggest event of the weekend, maybe the best card of the weekend at the Nashville Municipal Auditorium. We've got Ric Flair's last match. Now, if he gets through this match and he feels good, I 100% wrestle again. But who knows? You never know. So let's go through the card of this match real quick. Presented by Jim Crockett Promotions. That's a very nice touch. Bunk out counts for that. So Bully Ray. Be good to see Bully Ray. James Storm, another one of my all-time favorites. Sorry about Sham Luck. He was always kind of lame. Ricky Shane Page, Commanders, Bodie, Big Damo, Crowbar, Brian Myers, Adam Priest, Green Loco, Wolfie D. Wolfie D? The Wolfie D? Oh my God, I just got even more excited for this. Al Hero and other participants to be announced. That could be a lot of people in town for StarCast, for the other independent shows that have been going on. So there could be some like old school legends that run out just to get thrown out of them for a while. So that'll be interesting. Bunkhouse Battle Royal. Battle Royals are always fun. Fun for wrestlers, though, but they're fun for the fans. Independent Wrestling Dream Match. John Who's been in the news a bit. This will be one of his last matches. He's apparently requested his release from AEW and Ring of Honor and is looking to step away from wrestling for the foreseeable future. So this could be one of the last chances to see him. Alan Angels, formerly of the Dark Order, recently left AEW. Konsuke Takashita, who's been working at AEW on loan from DDT Pro, I believe, has had some really, really good matches in that time. And Nick, the 19-year-old who's been the talk of the independent wrestling scene for the last so. Going to be really exciting to get to see him, see if the hype lives up to it. A lot of people saying he could be the next big star in the industry. So, fun to see that one. Legacy match, Ricky Morton and Carrie Morton, with Ricky Morton representing the Rock Express versus Brian Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson, with Arn and in the Four Horsemen. Some veteran guys, some good young guys. I'll put on an entertaining match. Whatever. Impact versus MLW match. Briscoes versus the Von Erichs. The fine tag team. The Briscoes are awesome. So I expect the Briscoes will do some stuff to make this match fun and entertaining. Triple A Fatal 4-Way match. Bandito, Black Taurus, Laredo Kid, Ray Phoenix. This match is going to be insane. Four incredible luchadors jumping all over the place, flying off the ropes, flying out of the ring, flying out of the building. I don't know what the scaffolding situation is going to look like around the arena, but jump off stuff. They're going to jump into stuff. They're going to jump everywhere. This might be still the show. MLW match. versus Davey Smith Jr. Probably be a big man meet. I'm sure it'll be. They're pretty good. Impact Wrestling match. This one. This is like a dream match. The Wolves, Davey Richard and Eddie Edwards, the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, two of the best tag teams of the 2000s, tangling it up. This will be a match, I believe. This card's awesome. This is the best card of the weekend. Knockouts, World Triple Threat. Deonna Purrazzo versus Rachel Ellering versus champion Jordan Grace. 3 good performers. Will be a match. Should be entertaining. Impact World Title match. Jet 2 versus Josh Alexander, the champion of Impact. Again, 2 really good workers. They will put on a good show. That match should be very good. And then the main event, Ric Flair's last match. Rare teams with his son-in-law, Andre El Odilo, to take on Jeff Jarrett, my guy, once again representing, and Jay Lethal. Should be a good match. It'll be a lot of spectacle. There'll be smoke and mirrors involved, I'm sure. Has been training with Ric Flair to help Ric Flair get shape and get ready for this match. So I'm sure they'll work well together. Andrade, he's one of the best wrestlers there, but he's coming off an injury. He's been out of injury for the last couple months in AEW. So how much is he able to do coming off that injury? I don't know. Never would have expected him to miss this match. The one chance to team up with his father tag team. But what is he able to do coming off the injury? Not sure. Jeff Jarrett is a little older, but every time he's been in the ring, every time he's had to do work recently, he's looked pretty solid, pretty good. He's been passable. They'll figure out a way to get through this match and make it entertaining. I'm really looking forward to that one Sunday night. I'm looking forward to the whole weekend of wrestling and excitement and entertainment. It's going to be fun. GCW starting in 45 minutes at the fairgrounds. AJ the Beast says SummerSlam fitting to be lit. Got some great seats. Congrats, AJ. That's going to be what's interesting for it tomorrow. Always interesting seeing something like SummerSlam in a stadium because you never really know. Like ringside's going to be pretty good. I'd say some of the lower will be pretty good, but it's going to be weird at an event like that at Nissan Stadium. So it's going to be hard to predict good seats are. I kind of just picked out some seats that I thought were going to be fine. Like super close front row, lower bowl, floor seats. I wasn't trying to spend a whole lot of my tickets. Some of those things I had to be at. I don't necessarily care about having a great view and having great seats. I just kind of we never had an event like this come to Nashville for wrestling at least. So to be able to be there, see the whole thing, I'm excited. Glad you got some good seats. Hope you enjoyed the show. I can't wait. I'm excited for this. It'll be a fun weekend of wrestling throughout the weekend here in Nashville. To go to GCW or not to go to GCW? That is the question. This show is scheduled to go from 10:30 to 1 a.m. tonight. I've been up since 4 a.m. this morning from Orlando. This is a tough decision. Well, here's how you go into GCW. Subscribe to the channel down below. Turn the bell on for notifications because if I go to GCW tonight, I will certainly be vlogging for the channel. I'm going to be vlogging all day tomorrow for SummerSlam, for Stark, vlogging all day Sunday for Ric Flair's last match, and also probably going to Starcast again that day as well. Don't miss anything. You'll find out everything I do this entire week by subscribing to the channel with the bell turned on for notifications. Also, as I've mentioned several times, I just got back from Orlando, flew this morning at 4 a.m., so I'll have a whole slate of vlogs on that trip probably coming sometime next week. Probably going to get the wrestling vlogs out first because they'll be easy to turn around because they're going to have happened right away, and I'll have to back to the Orlando stuff and sort through everything, edit it in order. So that's another thing to look forward to. Wrestling coming up. Then we've got Orlando vacation vlogs coming up, and then before even we'll have more Nashville SC vlogs, and then it's going to be Titan season. We will have Titans previews, Titan Game Day vlogs. Who knows what else? The vlog never stops, and neither do I. Except for right now, I might take a nap before I go to CW. Wait.
Stay tuned to the vlog to see if I go to